the day that we were reviewing our strategy and actually conveying that to the donors.
We have our annual Friends and Funders lunch that the whole team gets very excited about, and some funders get pulled in to do some interesting things.
It is wonderful to be here.
We're here today to celebrate the success of the Math Centre. And really to say thanks to all the sponsors and the people who have provided the ongoing support.
We take the opportunity to say thank you for all that our funders do to support what we're trying to do to uplift education in South Africa.
I'm here to celebrate with the Math Centre because we have a long-standing relationship with Sharon Jeet and all her amazing people who work in the Math Centre.
There are departments of people there are friends, there's donor colleagues, there's prospective donors, and all the different peoples who are partners in our performance.
So my name is Yvette, and I'm your MC again for the 4th year in a row.
This is my 4th year as the MC, which is not a big role actually. You basically are like an outsurance points person. You're sort of just making sure that the traffic moves when it should.
So basically I'm the mistress of conveyor belts, and that's kind of where we are. So we're kind of on a 2-hour journey together. It was like a flight to Cape Town.
We'll have Zoe Hussein also opening up and welcoming everybody. We've got quite a big Microsoft contingent today.
Welcome to our honoured guest, Mr. Mteto Niati. This is the Managing Director of Microsoft. My fellow board colleagues who are here today, welcome. The CEO of the Math Centre, of course the staff of the Math Centre, government representatives, colleagues.
Sharon Jeet is a formidable force who will always pop up in the agenda.
I like to call today What the Fractal. And tonight, on What the Fractal, he has a fractal child, Sharon Jeet.
The only fractal that I really understood was a snowflake. Far away, very long time ago, a girl was born and brought up for the first 9 years of her life under a tree. 68 years later from that day that this girl was born, she has now, next year, at the end of next year, concluded 50 years in education. And Bill Gates would ask these questions, so I thought, why shouldn't I? Mathematics textbooks, he said, for every grade are now over 300 pages long. And still we don't learn. 5 years from now, he said, you'll be able to get the best courses in the world over the internet. The issue will be accreditation. Do you have the same knowledge if you had a Harvard degree or an MIT degree? Your guess is as good as mine. 68 years later, having met other fractal children, last year I was lucky enough to meet another fractal child. I give you Farzeen.
We're now in 1988 and we meet a man called Ron Aglash. He's a computer engineer. And he's studying aerial photographs of a traditional Tanzanian village when a strangely familiar pattern occurs to him. The thatched roof huts of this village occur in a geometric shape of circular clusters. Within the village are more circular clusters. Within each house are circular clusters. And this is an arrangement that he recognized from his former life as a computer engineer in the Silicon Valley. Since then, he's documented the use of fractal patterns in everything from hairstyles and architecture to art and religious practices in Africa. This is a traditional Ethiopian cross, so just have a look at it while I continue. The principles of fractal geometry offer scientists powerful new tools for biomedical, geological, graphic applications. But he envisioned something very different for these beautiful patterns he was seeing in the photos. He saw a window of opportunity which would force all of us to rethink our assumptions about traditional African mathematics and its heritage.
But as you can see as well, there's some interesting shapes around the courtyard. We're going to be building something, you know, the usual activities that make this kind of event special.
Now this year we're going to do some fractals, and you've seen the fractal structure which is drifting in the atrium, and those lovely green pieces on your table. It's not a placemat, it is a fractal.
Fractals are a concept in mathematics where issues of self-similarity, self-propagation are very crucial. And fractals can go on and on and on until infinity. Mathematicians would argue about that, but that argument is for a different space. And we wanted to show everybody how beautiful, how engaging, how interesting, and how functional every little aspect of mathematics is.
We've got Mtetu Nyati, who's the head of Microsoft South Africa. Very, very cool guy to listen to, and he's apparently Mr. Business Personality of 2013.
Our challenge, I'm going to go back to what we need to do. The challenge is that we've got the kids who are, I would call them digital natives.
Yes, yes.
These kids, they grew up, they can connect with technology, but we've got teachers that are digitally illiterate. That's where the problem. That's why they not want to have these kids coming with these things. So if we're not addressing that digital literacy problem, we will continue to be having this kind of discussions. So our focus has to be, I think, on the teachers. So I was here to share some of our insights around how we can go about using technology to solve some of the big problems that we have in education in our country.
And we'll be hearing from some of the learners as well, which is quite a good integration of what the Math Centre does, the communities in which they work, and then sort of bringing some of the youngsters that have been impacted by the Math Centre work to share with the audience.
I just come from Gauteng Provincial Maths Olympiad and I was placed 6th.
And I've always been the best maths learner in my circuit.
Maths can make me to be a better person in life. It can change a dull boy into a rich man, and a son of a gardener can become a doctor. My speech was about maths and science, the way a person can grow through education.
We decided to focus on learners in our schools who are on their path to success, who are fairly desperate in their circumstances, but are very determined and very willing to chart their map and work for it.
Currently, I'm doing electrical engineering at Tshwane University of Technology.
My dream career is to become a medical doctor.
And as I, the daughter of a domestic worker, I'll rise up and become an architect.
I want to be a chartered accountant.
For me, what touched me the most was to listen to some of those kids that have been impacted by the intervention of Math Centre. Some of them wanted to be accountants, some of them wanted to be architects.
Math Centre doesn't have the funds to fund bursaries ourselves, but we'd like to go into that space from 2014 onwards. And as Yvette has kindly said, RMB is going to give us 25,000 Rand towards that fund. Our own staff on a monthly basis will be contributing towards that fund. And I'm here to invite you on a personal level as well as on a company level, if you are interested in making a difference in any one of those 5 learners' lives, and we've got many others as well. And wouldn't it be great if we all can say, I helped one child?
When I look at the work that Math Centre is doing, it's doing very critical work. We need to be talking about this work so that many more companies can support the good work that they are doing.
What always amazes me attending this function is the positive feedback I get from the funders about the quality of the projects that are taking place out in the environments in where we operate.
We've been involved since the Math Centre was founded in 25 years ago.
We are growing from strength to strength. Our key drivers are quality, impactful education into the rural areas, and these are our principles and we stick by them, and we're getting better year by year as we deliver this kind of content into those areas.
friend.